2025. I'll start again. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Board of Education Facilities Committee call. Tonight is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. I am joined here this evening by fellow board members, our chairperson, Diana Carpio, as well as Ashley Gulias. Also joined here by Miss Sandra Fayoes and members of her team. Thank you, everybody, for being here this evening. So we will call this meeting to order, and our first action item is to approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was May 28th. Are there any edits or revisions, or can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. I didn't see any changes.
Right.
Seconded.
Perfect. Thank you both. So those minutes are approved. Now we will move into our review and possible actions. So we do have 3 actions, and these are acceptance of 3 different UST removal projects that were worked on over the summer. The first one at Brookside, the second at Tracy, and the third at Fox Run. I reviewed them and they all look to be in compliance to me. Sandra, is there anything we need to know about these 3 before we vote on
No,
all 3?
they're pretty standard, right, Bill?
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yes, only that the Fox Run is not a UST, it's asbestos abatement.
Okay, right. Yes, I
Thank
see
you.
that. Thank you. So all 3 of those projects were completed on schedule. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody,
Correct.
for that.
Mhm.
And then can I get a motion to approve these 3? Accept them as is?
Motion.
Seconded.
Perfect. Thank you both. Then moving on to HVAC improvement project updates.
We were going to have Alan Lowe join us for
Okay.
this. If you want, it's
Wanna-
okay though, because I spoke with him prior. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
And this is just so that we have these projects
I
as.
think that Alan is here too, right?
Oh, is he?
I saw him come on.
Yes.
Yes, I see him on the list.
Yeah, he's here.
Oh,
Yep.
Alan,
Can you hear me?
we can
Yes.
now. Do you wanna talk about your
I don't know. I want to talk
updates?
about it or not.
Please.
Yeah, the HV, I said very quickly. Altogether, there's 6 projects, and total combined project is probably around $36 million. On different status, very quickly on Rowayton School and Silvermine School. Both of these projects has boiler replacement projects. So we are in midst of actually getting everything ready, and the boilers are set in place, and the burners are being put on, and we are scheduled to finish both schools by October 15th and ready for the heating season. So they are moving along. There's many different little challenges, but I think we are meeting those schedule, and I think we are in good shape. Brookside, it's an air conditioning project, and the units been delivered, and their rooftop units, they've been in place, and we just going through some of the troubleshooting when you set up new equipment with and controls and everything else. So that should be done pretty soon. I think maybe by end of this week that project should be finished. And going back to Silvermine a little bit, so we're gonna finish the heating boiler by in about 2 weeks or so. And we are putting air conditioning into the gym, and then we're looking to do that this fall. So Silvermine, as the project, should also be finished by end of the year. Jumping around a little bit, there's activity going on Bryant McMahon, and which involved removing underground oil tank and stuff so that we can put a chiller in. And that project, the chiller's been ordered. There's a whole bunch of different things we need to do in terms of sound attenuation and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a little more complex, but we are looking to get delivery of the chiller probably, I think it's February or March of next year. And we look to go finish the Bryant McMahon cooling project before summer starts, so that we don't have to run a temporary chiller next summer. I mean, that's a substantial cost that we had this year. So I think we're looking to get that done prior to the summer next year. And lastly, Narrow-Mix moving along kind of thing. We're starting some of the prep work soon in terms of coordination and stuff like that. Marvin is the one project that we do not have a contract for construction yet. We are scheduled to go out to bid in probably another week, and we're looking to get the bids back and go for approval process in the next couple of months so that we can order the stuff, equipment by the late winter and be available for next summer installation. Marvin project was a little bit challenging when we went out to bid the first time, and we just don't have enough time to repackage the whole project. And also recently we completed that and we're ready to go to bid. So that's about all the update. Again, a couple of projects will be finished this year. Again, which we are looking at Silver Mine and Brookside to be finished by the end of this year. That's it. Thank you.
I had one question on Marvin. Alan, is the Marvin project, is it just air conditioning or is it heating also?
I believe it's heating and cooling.
Okay. All right.
So we have to do it next summer.
Okay, because I know that they had some problems in years past with heating
Yeah,
being excessive.
Bill can correct me if I'm wrong. The heating is really in the media center, right? The problem.
Yes,
Get very hot in there, right?
all units are heating, ventilating, and air conditioning.
Okay.
And the library had a very bad problem with the heat. That's what sparked this project.
Okay. But you said that we don't have a contract yet. We're still
We don't have a
getting
contract yet.
bids for that one.
Right.
Okay, so that of all of the HVAC projects is at the end of the line right now in terms of progress.
Right.
Okay.
All the other 5 projects, it's being implemented except Marvin, and we're looking at going to bid in 2 weeks. I mean, we'll go in a week or so, and then we'll get bids back within maybe 3 weeks or so from now, 3-4 weeks from now, and then we go for approval process. In the event if there's we're looking to better bidding when we went out to bid on Marvin. This is right before the summer. It's very challenging to get mechanical contractors to commit at that time of the year because they all committed for other projects. So we didn't get very good bidding activity, and also the pricing is extremely high to the point that it's not rational. And we don't have enough money to implement them, even though and also at that point we don't we have to, by the time we have to restructure the package and all the equipment will never make it for the heating season. So that's why we decided to wait, and then now we do have this new schedule to manage it, to get it implemented next summer. So
Next summer, okay.
Was the heating issue in the library a lack of heat or too much heat?
Too much.
I think Bill can elaborate on it. I think it may be air conditioning actually, right? That was a problem.
It all came down to a unit that's very much in need of replacement. So we actually had to run air conditioning in the winter because the heat was so
was too
intense.
much.
So that unit is beyond its useful life.
I think also that the unit covered 2 portions of the building. The one portion gets solar gain on one side. Meanwhile, you're calling for air conditioning. Meanwhile, the other, the media center is requiring different temperature zone kind of thing. So I think what we're looking to do is break it up so that there are separate controls.
But typically, a large library or a gymnasium or an auditorium, they would have its own unit. At Marvin, however, the library unit that served the library also served some classrooms. So it was one of those, we're too hot, let's make an adjustment. We're too cold, make an adjustment. And you couldn't satisfy both areas of the school. And plus the unit was on its last legs.
Are we okay to move on? Yeah, okay.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, guys. So we have some very quick updates just on some school projects that took place this summer. Bill?
So aside from the 3 you just approved as completion, we also have 4 more. The Roten lockers, I know that's been very long standing, and they were 8-inch wide lockers. What you see here now is 12-inch wide. They are really happy. They picked a great color, and they're in the hallways for the student lockers on all 3 levels. They opted to go for the combination as opposed to everyone bringing their own combination lock. Some of the other schools prefer that. So Ed Singleton and his staff are very pleased that this was done. We got this in early, and as a result, this was done probably before July, believe it or not, or right after 4th of July. So that was done. In the West Rocks, while we know we are talking about doing major improvements to West Rocks, the paving was at a serious safety issue.
Mhm.
So what we did is instead of milling and paving, we just scratched the coat and put blacktop over the existing and patched some of the bad areas to keep costs down. And some sidewalks needed to be replaced as well. That was also done over the summer, and the walkway around uh, Fox Run was done as well. So there was a partially concrete, but mostly asphalt. That too was in bad shape, and there were a lot of tree roots tearing it up. And now the kids have a much smoother surface to play on and go to the rear playing areas. Cranberry roof solar installation. This has been long in the works. Finally, it took off. Right now, they should be installing their last few panels, and they're going to spend about a month and a half on wiring it. So that's an active project, and that will be up and running well before the end of the year. This is a
Any
roof solar.
questions? Any questions regarding these 4 projects before we move on to school construction?
So were the Roten lockers ahead of schedule? Because I thought that they weren't going to have them in time for the school year.
No. These were installed before, right around 4th of July, they were completed.
You
Okay.
might be thinking PONUS.
Oh, okay. Maybe
We
that's what I'm
wanted to
thinking of.
do
Yeah.
both, but the PONUS lockers, because of they are sort of special order because they are inside the wall.
Okay,
So
that's what I was thinking of.
we were not going to have those in
Okay.
enough time to get them done this summer.
Got it.
So
Po-
PONUS,
PONUS.
I'm working on, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I was
I'm
just like PONUS lockers next summer then.
Yes, I'm working on that as we speak. I already met with the school leaders yesterday.
Mhm.
And I'm very excited to see that the cranberry solar is like
Yeah.
well on its way, nearly done. That's great.
Yes.
If you have no further questions, I'll keep moving along.
Mhm.
Okay. Alan, do you want to give a brief update on Norwalk High School P-TECH?
There it goes. Sorry.
That's okay.
Construction project updates. Norwalk High School, Jersey is not much too specific to talk
Mhm.
about. Really, the project is moving along quite a bit. Would you be able to show those pictures, Sandra?
The pictures that Johan sent?
No, not the picture. Actually the update that Dan prepared.
Did he send it to me?
I think it was posted in the agenda, or Dan did send it earlier this week
Okay,
on
let
Friday.
me stop sharing.
Oh, Alan, it may have come from Henry.
In
Let
any
me- I'll
event,
stop sharing.
this project is ongoing, and there's no major milestone that we're hitting or anything like that. We just continue. I mean, you got the building is, as you know, we finished the brick, the steel erection during the a couple months ago. We have what you call it, a topping ceremony, but everything's ongoing in terms of interior work and exterior veneers being put on where it's appropriate and timing wise, and interior mechanical equipment are being installed. So everything is moving along, and again, the anticipated completion date, it's for the building, it's open for student, it's 2027 or fall semester. And then thereafter, we will begin demolition of the existing building, and then create the new athletic facilities. Yeah, there's a few pictures in here that. So I mean, portion of the building have windows and exterior veneers and brickwork and stuff. So I think there's a couple more pictures after that, showing some interior works. So
Have you guys gotten a chance to go by? Okay.
it is kind of
Yeah, I
exciting.
went by the other night.
It's going by pretty
Amazing.
fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to get over there. I haven't been over there in a while.
Yes.
And the building is not blue, it's just the panels.
Wow.
Yeah, it's progressing. Is that the auditorium area or something? I don't know what this picture of. Is it
That
so?
is the
But
auditorium, yes.
it's a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you can see interior. There's quite a bit of interior wall and door frames are up and stuff like that. So, yep. Anyway, so that's where we are. Again, I'm not planning to do any tour anytime soon, but at some point we may do a construction tour.
Mhm.
And the next project is South North School. As everyone knows, the school was opened, and for the fall semester, we had the ribbon cutting ceremony. There we are.
Mhm.
So everything worked out well. Overall, a lot of time when we open a school, sometimes there's we always have some punch list items and miscellaneous issue that we need to continue to address, and we are continuing to do that. So we continue to meet every Tuesday to address all of the miscellaneous things. But the good news is that there's no major issues that we are encountering. It's just really touch up this and deal with all the miscellaneous issues that typical with any construction projects. So overall, it's a good thing. I believe there's still
Yeah.
So anyway. One thing I'm glad, just on a sidebar a little bit, one thing I'm glad is that I was never pushing to acquire those property on because there's a lot of and stuff. But as I go through the ribbon cutting and see the whole property as a whole, I'm glad that we did it. The council was pushing me to do it, and we did it. Well, I don't have a choice when they push me, right? At the same time, is that it's just a lot of work to acquire. It's a lot of money. I mean, we spend probably like $3 million to acquire, or more than $3 million to acquire all this property and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you sit out there with a basketball court it makes such a difference. Otherwise, those multifamily houses that are really deteriorated, and it's really like a slumlord kind of property kind of thing.
Yeah. It
And
was in
also
bad
the
shape,
construction
right?
yard, it is a significant improvement to the project. If those those buildings are still there, it really is a distraction to all the effort that the community has put into creating this facility. So that's just a sidebar. That's a little bit of my perspective looking back at things. So okay.
The other item that we listed here, it's that on September 3rd, there was a special hearing for the land use committee where the proposed name was discussed, and Principal Randall Austin had shared some data that he had collected from his school community. But I wanted to just bring that up to this committee in terms of what that discussion was like, and to see if you had any questions about that meeting. Both Alan and I were present at that meeting. I was in the background, and Alan was a panelist.
So yeah, I unfortunately was not able to attend that meeting. I'm not sure if Ashley or Diana were.
I wasn't able to attend, but I did, Sandra and I had watched, and I watched the video of at least that discussion. I mean, I think that we're hearing a lot of feedback for both keeping the name just as the South Norwalk Neighborhood School and also for naming it after Dr. Ruby Shaw. From everything, I mean, do you want us to share like our thoughts on it?
It's really
I mean,
it was just part of the update for the South Norwalk School. I wanted to make sure that that you knew that there had been a hearing about the
yeah.
name.
And I mean, ultimately that decision is made by that committee from the council, not by us, or are we all working together on it?
Okay, here's where
I just want to be clear on like the process, and then I mean I'm happy to share my thoughts on it, but I just want to be clear on like where that decision ends up coming from.
Well, it's unfortunate that they jumped the gun because protocol is that we were going to have focus groups and town meetings to have the community have an input. It usually goes through us first, and we have discussions with the community, and then there's a vote, and then, it's brought up to the city for their vote. But unfortunately, I don't know why it's being pushed forward this fast. I am not in conjunction with this push forward with it. I know that there's a few people that want it done ASAP. However, we've been saying in these facilities meetings that we were going to take into consideration the community. We were going to let the school open for a few months and then start our meetings. We haven't had a chance to even have those discussions or schedule any meetings.
Okay, got it. I mean, having listened, I would say I see both sides of the discussion. And it feels like if to me, it feels like we can do both. That it could be have a long name of, the Dr. Ruby Shaw South Norwalk Neighborhood School, colloquially be called the Sono School, and have a significant like display honoring her right in the lobby when you enter. That's a thought that I had. There were also some folks on that call who mentioned the property at what is it, 46 Concord, and possibly honoring Dr. Ruby Shaw with that in a way, naming wise. So, I mean, I certainly see the value in honoring her legacy and her history. But yes, I think
Right,
that,
but the
as
community
you said, the
that
community, yeah, it
that
should
had
be
the opportunity
a
to speak
discussion.
up, right?
Okay.
So I think the next step is that we're trying to schedule a
Mhm.
meeting between facilities and Common Council Land Use Committee.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of emails flying around trying to find a time that works. Also with Mayor Rilling. Alan, I'm assuming you're probably like looped in on this as well, but we haven't landed on a time yet. It's looking like it might be the week of the 13th if we can't find something sooner. But I mean, I think I agree with Diana, from the very beginning of starting to work on this project, I can remember being in parent, family meetings at Columbus and specifically saying when it came to the name that we wanted to allow for the community, the students, everybody to move in and get comfortable with the school and get the feel of it before, weighing in on, what they thought the name should be. So I think a lot of us were surprised when we saw the big South Norwalk school sign
Oh, okay.
there in front, because that was not what, the direction
Well,
had been, was that we were just going to jump right in and put a sign up there.
I think Alan, do you want to talk about the signage?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
just I guess a little bit on the loss, I wouldn't call it selfish perspective. It's like when we started this project probably 2.5 years ago, we
Mhm.
submitted to the state. We submitted state of South Norwalk school projects, and the selfish part is that I've been so focused on getting the school built in a timely fashion at a time. And when the city and the Board of Ed decide to name the building, whether it's 2 years from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, I just didn't want I need to continue the project with signage, and also it's not these signs are not. That's why the ground sign is really simple, can be simply replaced if we need to, kind of thing. So I didn't look at it as there's some certain level of permanency to South Norwalk School, and kind of like explaining where the building is and all. So I just took a liberty to just continue as that this is the name of the school that was being submitted to the state, and then we want to put some signage out there so we know what the building is called. But again, anytime in the future when we change it, I purposely didn't do signage that kind of surface mounted on the wall of the building that that drill into the wall and stuff like that kind of thing. So really, it's just a ground sign. that's made out of wood is simply replaced or or painted over kind of thing. So it's not in my view, it's not such a it's a it's just identify the as South North School for now, and then until such time there is a formal adoption of the name for the building, then we can take care of that at such time.
Is the name on the sign that's drilled into the wall? Because there is
No,
a sign drilled onto the wall.
well, the only one is the
On there?
plaque.
That's the one I was talking about. Does it have
Right.
the name on the plaque?
Yeah, I mean, when we do even like Cranberry School, we have a plaque we call Cranberry School. In the future, if some
Right. But what I'm asking is the plaque that's already on the school, does it say there's
Yeah.
a name on there?
Yeah,
So
there's the name on it.
there was a jump on that too before we even had a chance to have a discussion.
I'm just curious, like, where did that direction come from, Alan? Like specifically to build those signs, to order the signs and install them.
It's a bid construction bid package. There's really no specific direction I got from anybody. It's really come down to we are, as part of the construction package, we have a ground sign and we have the plaque, and then the submittal package came in. I signed off on it because that's what there's no name being proposed at that time, so I continue with calling it South Norwalk School. There's no hidden agenda all the time. It's a plaque and it's a ground sign. So
you were also in these meetings when we've had these conversations. So yes, I do agree with Kara that it's a surprise that the name has already been put on the building when all this time we've been talking about it for quite a while now, that the community would have an input. And I understand that those signs are up. Some of them, like the wood ones, will be easy to remove. We're talking about a plaque on the wall too that is already went on social media, in the news and everything. Like if the school does get renamed, do we change those plaques? There's a fee behind all of this. And I understand the other schools that are made new because they're already existing schools. And this school is a brand new school. And we've been talking to the community and telling them that they were all going to be a part of this. And it's unfortunate that it's come to this because we have community members that are already upset with the board because they're assuming that we named the school when we didn't. Protocol wasn't followed. I'm putting this on public record. We were waiting to have these meetings and let the public put in their requests and, follow voting procedures and vote on the best name for the school. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. We'll continue with our meetings and see how we move forward with this. But as long as the public knows, that's how all of this fell through.
Just to be clear, though, the name of the school as it was submitted to the project, though, had to have a name. The same way that when we had the incubator, we had to give it a name in order for it to be recognized by the state.
Right.
But I understand.
But we never said it was going to be a permanent name.
But we're not saying that it's a permanent name.
Right. But
Okay.
I want the public to know that.
Absolutely. Thank you. But yeah.
All right, any additional slides here for us to review?
Yes. If we're okay to move on.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. We actually, as you saw, that there was an announcement made from the city that the next school construction will be the West Rocks Middle School. And we wanted to take some time to have Michael Lasasso share with you what the conceptual design would be. Are you okay with us moving on to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Michael, I'm going to present and then.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Lasasso. I'm an architect at Antonazzi Associates. We're located at 271 Fairfield Avenue in Bridgeport. Is my audio coming through okay?
It doesn't sound great.
Sorry, is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Apologize. We have been working on this project for actually several years, and it fits in spurts actually. But we've got a submission to present to you tonight. Sandra, I think we can go to the next slide, please.
Oh, Michael, before we go, just making sure that everybody understands that this is a conceptual design. We have not gone out to bid on an architect, or we haven't. This is really just for us to be able to imagine what this project could look like. So that's why there will be changes when the actual project comes along. So just giving that as a disclaimer, not to be held to this particular design.
Thank you for clarifying.
Of course.
So if we could switch to the next slide, please.
Is this okay, Michael? This one?
I'm still seeing the cover page, the initial slide.
Is everybody else, do you see my slides advancing?
No, it's still the
Oh, my apologies.
cover
I
one.
don't know why. Okay, let me stop sharing and reshare and see if that'll work. Are you able to see it now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Michael, do you want me to go back one, or are you okay with this?
If you could, yeah, go back one, that would be great.
I don't think it's allowing me to do both.
We can start here then. That's fine. I don't want to. Oh,
Oh, okay. My apologies. Okay, what I won't do is share full screen. It won't allow me to manipulate it. Is this okay though to start here?
that's perfect. Is that everybody able to see the screen adequately? Perfect. So, as Sandra rightfully clarified, our effort on this project was really essentially developing a conceptual plan, looking at different alternatives as to how we could execute the work associated with a modification to the West Rock School. The plan that we have before you was actually done previously. When we began the project, there was initially concern about developing on the portion of the site that had the fields. Although I think we all agreed that that was the logical location for it, the fields were relatively new, and there was concern that if we did so, we could potentially result in having some concerns about losing the use of newly installed fields. This particular plan that we have on the screen now was a sequential addition and renovation of the existing school. And what we were proposing was adding a 2- and 3-story structure in the parking at the southeast corner of the site. As that construction was complete, we would remove and move students into that space, which reflected the academic sections, take down the academic 2-story section that's south of the existing West Rock School, and then construct the balance of common spaces, and then take the balance of that section of the school down as well. That would ultimately provide us a new school, but the sequencing and phasing of that suggested it would be significantly expensive. And so we took a second look at this. And if we could go to the next slide, Sandra, please. This is just the existing site, and we provide this to give some insights in terms of the approach. We have identified specific aspects, both in terms of the configuration of the existing school, various features that we thought could be retained and potentially reutilized, and then other aspects associated with the development of the new fields that informed our future design. And then the next slide, please, Sandra. Thank you. This describes a diagrammatic relationship of spaces. What we found significant about the site was that, again, if we were able to develop on top of the fields, doing so essentially allowed the existing West Rock School to remain active without any kind of disruption, except for the absence of the athletic fields. We proposed the assembly of spaces in part informed by the existing terraces that are exterior seating provided for current sports viewing, and also the orientation of the west parking lot in the northwest corner of the site, and then began to array spaces associated with that in anticipation of the construction of a new school. One of the challenges with the site is obviously a fairly dramatic level change. We had configured what we refer to as common spaces, or the auditorium, cafeteria, those spaces that are oftentimes utilized after hours in the upper field, and then reserves the lower field where the practice field is currently, which is a level below, for the introduction of a multi-story educational section. The yellow line that we have described there is suggesting the connection of the drives as well, which is often advantageous in terms of emergency responders and school access. And so if we could go to the next slide, please, Sandra. And this describes the conceptual plan that resulted from those initial conceptual layouts. What we've proposed with this is a configuration that allows a bus drop off on the northwest corner of the building, and an entirely separate parent drop off on the south side of the proposed new building. The parent entrance off of West Rocks and through the drives provides extensive queuing. So we were proposing introducing less impact on West Rocks and adjacent residential areas. Aitken Street to the north provided another existing curb cut that allowed the introduction of buses. As I mentioned before, that terraced seating area on the exterior became a sort of central feature of the building, providing us an opportunity to have outdoor seating for a two-sided auditorium. And we'll look into the building. We'll have the opportunity to open the rear of the auditorium and have outdoor presentations, as well as utilizing the same auditorium with the closed rear to provide the conventional auditorium use. As I mentioned before, we have the common spaces, and again, these are primarily public spaces associated with the administrative offices in the center. The auditorium, we've programmed a gymnasium, cafeteria and food service, and also a media center for the building. And that all essentially is at what we would say is the intermediate level. That intermediate level continues into the academic wing, and then it's a level up or a level down for the different grades. And so we've utilized floor level. Pardon?
Go ahead. I'll advance if you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So we can go to the next slide. So this is a quick overview, and we'll zoom in a minute. But the intermediate level is the plan on the right-hand side, and kind of where the box shape at the bottom stops is that connection back to the academic spaces. So that plan on the right hand side is the intermediate level that connects all the floor levels. We have on the the left hand side is a view of the lower level, and so that's one story down below this intermediate level, and it provides a complete section for a grade level. I think in this case we actually had proposed the 7th grade, but really the classrooms as proposed are essentially standard for all grades. So it gives flexibility in terms of how they might be organized in the space, either lower level, middle level, or upper level. The academic spaces are organized around an outdoor instructional space and or learning space, and each of the grade levels, 6th, 7th, and 8th, have 2 cohorts comprised of 5 classrooms. For the purposes of this study, we assumed a total population of 720 students, and that is essentially 24 students per classroom, though I do understand that there is a 28 classroom limit based on the teacher
Contract.
contracts. If we go to the next slide, we can zoom in a little bit to this is a view of the common spaces. And so we've arrayed the spaces that tend to generate more noise, specifically the gymnasium, auditorium, music spaces, and the cafeteria in this area. We've separated them from the academic spaces to the south. We've outfitted this to include band and choral spaces. Essentially, the program, though I have to mention, this was developed without the in-depth educational specifications, which are currently being prepared. But this was essentially a program that was derived from information gathered from the original building. And as I mentioned before, we have the administrative suite centrally located in the building. And this provides us the ability to have the two entrances that we saw from the site plan, both from the north and south, so that students can then convey into the building in a controlled manner. After school is active, the main entrance would be on the left-hand side, and that would be through a secured entrance, and with appropriate resistance to intrusion. And then if we go to the next plan, this is representative of the three different levels. On the upper portion, which is closer to the common spaces, we have classrooms that are associated with science and learning. This particular program envisioned a marine science classroom as well as a specific Verizon tech lab. There's a centrally located computer lab as well. And then as you descend further into these spaces, the individual cohorts are more secure and separate from the access points to the north of the plan. And then I think we have one more slide. And this information on the right-hand side is just this is the upper level. So it's very similar. There's a few different program types. We have the visual arts in this particular level, which is sort of centrally located. And again, additional science classrooms. On the left-hand side is the state's current form that's utilized for determining square footage eligibility. And in this case, based on benefits and bonuses that are available in this particular form associated with mechanical spaces and so forth, we're looking at having a building at 720 students that affords about 121,000 square feet. In the upper right-hand corner of this slide, we've actually done the area takeoffs associated with the proposed conceptual plan, and we're just under 120,000 square feet, or sorry, 121,000 square feet. So we think that this particular plan, although it will likely be modified as the ed specs are developed, are certainly within the realm of possibility relative to state grant funding. And that concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'm happy to address any questions.
My question is, if you want to go back to the athletics field, that lower field at that school, I know that was always a question because of flooding and drainage. Is that something that you guys are looking at or have even discussed now?
It has come up actually in meetings previous, and we are aware of it. Any site development of that nature would obviously have to take into account the flooding and wet nature of the site. We also have to make provisions to make. I think there was an issue that was raised that there was water impacting adjacent sites. And so the development of this site would have to be done in a manner that would prevent any runoff going on to adjacent sites in accordance with state statutes.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding this conceptual design? I'll have a few updates just on the rollout of the project, but anything on these particular slides from Michael?
Nothing from me, thank you.
No, I had sort of the same question as Diana about the drainage on that lower
Okay.
field. Um,
I'm going to stop sharing that because I'm going to turn back to my other presentation, if that's okay with everybody. And thank you for your patience as I switch through. So if there are no questions on the conceptual design, I just wanted to give you guys just some highlights. So the application to the state, and thank you, Michael, so much. The application to the state will be June 2026, with tentative groundbreaking for the spring of 2028. By then, we will have Norwalk High P-Tech, all of their fields back on so that it won't be as stressful on the community in terms of having some of the fields offline. We project the completion of fall 2030. Michael went over the square footage. This is a very rough estimate just based on some numbers that Alan Lowe ran for us, just in case you're ever asked. But this is a very preliminary number because we have not yet done the education specifications to actually be able to price out the project. The reimbursement rate is 60%, and I just wanted to share that there is going to be a community engagement on the 7th, and we will advertise that. I'm sorry?
Sandra, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
I think when we talk about cost estimate, it's something that that the first number that we show somewhat publicly, well, not somewhat, it is publicly, it kind of stick on people's mind.
Yeah.
This is really the first number that, without actually we going through the design, it's really a number that the main reason why we're coming to Board of Education Facility Committee today, and I'm going to land use tomorrow to present a similar kind of presentation to the city side. Is that assuming this is a project that both the Board of Education and the city would like to move forward on, we have to start submitting a capital budget request. We have to, I mean the Board of Education would need to submit a capital budget request to the city on end of December this year, to get onto schedule in terms of developing this project. So it is essential for us to start looking at it so everybody understands and get transparent about we are moving forward. If this is the project we want to move forward, then the Board of Education would submit a capital budget request to the city as part of the upcoming capital budget. So from now to this end of December, there's a lot of work that we staff need to do, to further develop a dollar amount for the budget request. So we are taking this conceptual design, develop it, do some technical write-up on it, and give it to a professional cost estimator to come up with a more realistic budget that will include the redevelopment and new sports fields and stuff, the dealing with drainage issue, demolition of existing building, environmental remediation. All those factors need to be considered. So when we talk about $125 million, really it's really abstract by, you're building a building that's 120,000 square feet, blah, typically this is what the number is kind of thing. But since it has no really in-depth evaluation what the dollar amount is. So I said we highlight the word rough estimate and italicize it and stuff like that. But really is that I think the number we're going to provide the Board of Education and the city as well as the public by end of December. I think that is going to be the budget number. This is like, we anticipate everybody has that question of like how much is this kind of thing. So I just want to say this very clearly that this is our first pass. It's not really an estimate. I mean, it's not really based on a project scope. It's just based on a 120,000 square feet building. So I just want to be fully aware of that. The other thing too is that I think the city through the last couple of years, I know that Mike mentioned that he'd been working for 2 years on this project. Really, we are looking at all different things in terms of which project to start working on kind of thing. And one of the things that the city has generally accepted the fact that we're looking to do a major school construction every 3 years. So we finished South Norwalk School. We're in the middle of which is a Norwalk High School, which is a significant capital financial responsibility of the city. and I thought that this is a good time to start planning for the next one.
Mhm.
And also one of the reasons why also starting, I think Sandra briefly mentioned, is that we are using the West Rock field for Norwalk High School soccer. So we feel that we're going to move into the new building, Norwalk High School, in fall of 2027. So that's why we're able to start construction of this the spring of 2028, and by the fall of 2028, the sports complex in Norwalk High School should be finished, so that they won't need the field at West Rock. So there's a little bit of the strategy in terms of maneuvering activities between the two sites kind of thing. That's what some of these ideas come from. So again, the city financially affordability, it's we're looking at every 3 years to do one major school construction project. So it is significant. I mean, we talk 125 million, 60% of that roughly, it's 40% of city money, so it's about $50 million, I guess, for the city share. So it is something that the city finance portion of the city need to assess the city's debt limits and everything else to come up with these concepts. So that's all I have.
And if I may just provide a bit of context, we did share the Newman DLR facility study with the board. We presented it in 2021, so I know it's been quite a while. But even in that study, West Rocks was the school that was named as the school that was in most need of repairs. And that's a large, that's sort of like set the stage for tiering the projects, and West Rocks was at the top of that tier. We keep doing Band-Aids because obviously, as you could see, the groundbreaking wouldn't take place until 2028, and we still have students there. The building is safe, but the building is a lot to maneuver in terms of planning, and the classrooms are small. But on the 7th, we will have a town hall. We will explain why West Rocks is the school that was chosen. We will have a panel to be able to answer questions from the public and engage the community. All the feeder schools will be personally invited, and then we will just send out a blast to everybody else to have a more in-depth conversation about the project.
Yeah, although I'm not involved in this, I know the Board of Education had requested money for roof repair at West Rocks last year. So I mean, we've been talking about it. It's kind of like thinking about which school and all that stuff. And I think that that's why we're not looking to replace the whole roof. We're just going to do, I think, I forgot how much it is that the Board of Ed requested. It really intended to do some minor repair to the point that we protect the building from water penetration and get by until the new building is constructed. I think that's part of the strategy, so we're not wasting money.
Yeah, we got to do a tour. We did a facilities tour of West Rocks last school year, and I mean the need is clear.
Yeah.
So glad we're doing this. I hope a lot of folks come out to the community engagement meeting next week.
We will make sure that we advertise it well.
Yes.
And lastly, I know I talk a lot, so you gotta excuse me, but I think the main reason why there's no, I guess, approval requesting today or tomorrow on the city side land use really is just informing the board and the common council that this is in terms of planning wise, this is what the thoughts are and the schedule could be. So that everybody's fully aware that this is a project that we want to move forward on. And then so when you see on the capital or when the board of ed start making requests for capital, just so everybody's aware that there has been discussion on this, so it's not like surprise anybody. I think that's the main reason. So there is no this is a discussion item for tonight as well as for tomorrow night at land use. So there's no action required. The only action as time comes on is board of education need to review and approve the education specs.
Yes.
And also the city side had to go for approval to submit it to state as a grant application later on in the year. So there are approval to be made, but at the same time, and also as far as capital budget, we have to allocate the full amount of the project as part of the capital budget by April 15. So that when we submit the application to the state, the project is funded by the city, and that's a part of the basic requirement of the state that the city approved the funding for it. So again, tonight there's no action requested, and I think that's it. I need to stop.
So that's it for tonight, but we're here for questions.
I don't have any further questions. Diana, Ashley?
Nope. Thank you for all of this information.
Yeah, no
It's an
question.
exciting update.
Absolutely.
Sorry, my
Indeed.
dog.
Thank you, everybody. All right. Well, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Have
Thank
a
you,
great night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night. Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.